All right, let's get right into it because Donald Trump just dropped a policy bombshell that is causing an absolute civil war within his own base. We're talking about a wild U-turn that has some of his biggest supporters just furious.
And hey, before we unpack this whole mess, if you like getting the straight story, do me a favor and smash that like button. It really helps out. Okay, let's go.
So, here's the big mystery we're diving into today. Why on earth would the guy who built his entire platform on America First make a move that is his most die-hard fans calling betrayal? It all comes down to one massive, and I mean massive, policy flip-flop. The blowback was, instant, and it was brutal. So first, let's take a look at just how badly this news went down with some of his most powerful allies. I mean, even the inner circle was confused. Over on Fox News, Laura Ingraham, one of his biggest media champions, was just plain baffled. She framed it as a direct hit to American students, basically saying these spots are being taken away from our own kids. And trust me, she was not the only one. The criticism came in fast and heavy from people like Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Laura Loomer. They're all out there saying this move just completely betrays the America First agenda they've all been fighting for. So what is this political earthquake all about? What did he actually do? Let's break down the insane policy whiplash that has everybody talking. This is Trump's big U-turn. Okay, just look at this. It's night and day. The administration's whole vibe was being super tough on foreign student visas, which, by the way, was a huge hit with his base. Now, boom, a complete reversal. We're talking about green-lighting a massive number of visas for students from China. The contrast is just wow. And let's just park on that number for a second. 600,000. That's how many student visas from China we're talking about. This isn't some tiny little policy tweak. It is a gigantic shift that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. So obviously, with his base practically rioting, the president had to say something, right? He had to give a reason. So what was his justification for this whole thing? Let's hear it. Okay, so Trump came out with a few reasons. He talked about his great relationship with China's President Xi. He said it's good for our colleges, especially the smaller ones. He made this bigger point about, it being smart to get along with countries that have nuclear weapons. And then he just kind of threw in that he thinks it's the right thing to do. He really leaned into the diplomacy angle. Here's a direct quote. He said he thinks it's very insulting to a country to turn away their students. He even told President Xi that he was honored to have Chinese students here. Now, a sudden change like this doesn't just happen without consequences. It can leave your allies looking, well, pretty foolish. And a perfect example of this is the mess it created for his own Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Seriously, check out this timeline. It's almost comical. Back in May, you have Rubio talking tough, promising to aggressively revoke visas for Chinese students. Fast forward to August, and Trump basically says, just kidding. He completely contradicted his top diplomat, leaving him hanging out to dry. Awkward. All right, let's try to put the pieces together. You've got an angry base, a massive policy U-turn, and a totally confused cabinet. So what is really going on here? And that's the real question everyone is asking, isn't it? Is this some kind of brilliant 4D chess move? A secret bargaining chip in trade talks that we just can't see yet? Or is it just total chaos? A president changing his mind on a whim, leaving his team to deal with the fallout? I really want to know what you guys think. Is this a genius political masterstroke or a complete and total blunder? Let me know your theory down in the comments. And hey, if you want to keep up with all this political craziness, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in.